You ever look at two people and just wonder how? I mean, they started in the exact same place with the same potential, but one person's finances take off while the others just don't? Well, it's not about luck, and it's definitely not about being smarter. So what is really going on under the hood? Let's get into it. Okay, so check this out. You've got person A and person B. On paper, they are identical. Same job, same salary, same doors opening for them. But look at the outcome. One person builds wealth, and the other just stays stuck spinning their wheels. All the external stuff is the same, so they're variable. The real difference maker has to be somewhere else.
Right? If it's not the obvious things, then what are we talking about here? What's this invisible force that's creating such a huge gap? Well, the answer is something deep inside of us. It's this silent script that's running our entire financial life, and most of us don't even know it's there.
And that script? Well, that's what we call your financial identity. Let's break down what that really means, because this is the whole game. Think of your financial identity like your subconscious rulebook for money. It's this quiet internal program that's running 24/7. It dictates how you earn, what you do with money when you get it, and, this is the really critical part, it sets the ceiling for how much wealth you believe you're allowed to have. And most of the time, you don't even consciously hear this voice. It's not shouting at you. It's just a whisper in the background, a feeling, a nudge, and it's guiding almost all of your financial decisions from the shadow. For some people, that whisper sounds a little something like this. You know, that deep down feeling, that real wealth. That's for other people, not for you. It's just not in the cards. Or maybe the story is one of constant struggle. It's this belief that no matter what you do, you're just destined to scrape by, to always be in this uphill battle with money. It's just your lot in life. And for a lot of us, the script is just pure emotion. It connects money with anxiety, with conflict, with stress. So, of course, your subconscious mind is going to try to get rid of it as fast as possible to avoid feeling all that negativity. So where on earth did we pick up this programming? Well, a lot of it comes from stories we just soaked up as kids without any filter. Those phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees, or the constant, we can't afford that, they weren't just passing comments. They became the actual building blocks of our financial identity. Now, here's where it gets really fascinating. Why does our brain hold on to this identity so tightly, even when it's clearly holding us back? The reason is probably not what you think. Yeah, we call it self-sabotage, but from your brain's point of view, it's actually self-protection. See, your brain's number one job is to keep you safe, and a huge part of feeling safe is making sure your reality matches your identity. It craves consistency above almost everything else. And this creates this incredibly powerful feedback loop. So, for example, if your identity is, I'm someone who struggles, your brain will actually nudge you to spend money as soon as you get it. The result, the struggle continues, which proves your identity was right all along. Or if you believe wealth isn't for me, you'll avoid things like investing because they just feel too risky or not for you. And by doing that, you reject abundance and keep your reality perfectly in line with your belief. I know this might all sound a little bit bleak, but here is the absolute best part. The most important part of this whole thing. This story is not permanent. You can actually become the editor and rewrite it. This is so crucial. Your identity is not who you are. It's just who you think you are right now. And just like software on your phone or computer, it can be updated. You can literally install a new operating system. And that's why real, lasting financial change never, ever starts with a new budget or a hot stock tip. It starts inside. It starts with your self-concept. You have to change the internal belief first, before the external reality has any chance of catching up. So the work is really about consciously shifting that internal narrative. Instead of that old, tired story, we can't afford that, the new story becomes, I am perfectly capable of creating value. The old script of I'll always struggle gets replaced with I deserve abundance. And maybe the most limiting belief of all, it's just who I am, becomes I can learn, I can change. Okay, so how do we actually do this? How do you install this new software? Well, it all starts with really small, deliberate action. See, you can't just think your way into a new identity. You have to prove it to your brain with evidence. And you do that by taking tiny little actions that don't match your old identity, but are perfectly aligned with the new one you want to build. Every single action is like a vote for your new self. So what does this look like in the real world? It starts with tiny little wins that send a new signal to your brain. Try saving $5 or $1. It's not about the amount, it's about sending the signal, hey, I'm a saver. Or go finish a book you started months ago. That proves to yourself, I am someone who finishes what they start. Spend just 10 minutes learning a new skill. That's a vote for I can grow. Every time you say no to an impulse purchase, you're not just saving a few bucks, you're sending a powerful message that says I am in control of my finances.
Now, these actions might seem almost laughably small on their own, but they are not. When you do them consistently, they begin to rewire your identity at a really deep level. And as your identity changes, your habits and your decisions start to change too. And then, your external financial reality, it just has no choice but to rise up and match the new person you are becoming. In the end, it's not about getting a bunch of money so you can become a different person. It's about becoming a different person so that you can attract, manage, and grow more money. Money just acts like a giant magnifying glass for the identity you already have. So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. Your financial world is nothing more than a mirror of your internal identity. The single most powerful financial move you can ever make has absolutely nothing to do with your bank account. It has everything to do with the story you choose to believe about yourself. Change that story, and you will change everything.